Well, the storm came in. It didn't drop as much snow, which is good. It only dropped maybe 2 inches. A lot of blowing snow. A lot of power outages around us, but we are good to go. Solar's working great. So came down here to the babies to see how they were doing, and ran a temperature on them. One of the goats was below temp. Goats are supposed to be around 102, 101, 102. And this one was down to 90, so now they took it up to the house, put in the garage to get it warmed up. And then on the ones that are down here, I went and put in another half bale of hay, or not hay, straw, and spread that out, and then move the heat lamp down lower. You can see the two babies are right up on that heat lamp now, except the third baby's up at the house. But the problem we're having with the heat lamp is Noli keeps banging the cage whenever the other baby gets close. Whenever Pumper's baby gets nearby. Everyone tells us that we should just take the divider out and they'll get used to each other, but we're just not comfortable doing that yet. But it's -3 right now, I think. Still have the brutal wind. It's just the wind is awful.
Well, we have some new residents in the garage for the next couple days. We have had bitterly cold temperatures, lower than we normally get, especially this time of year, and these guys will be a week old tomorrow. His little brother is not doing well, so he got too cold. We've been checking on them about every hour today, so it can actually happen pretty quickly for them to get too cold. So he's actually upstairs with Sydney sitting in front of the pellet stove, so he's getting warmed up. This little guy is doing fine. His internal temperature is fine.
Hey, Sydney and I just came back from doing the goats. She's going inside to take care of Noli, get her some food and stuff. I wanted to talk about our Mr. Cool heat pump out here. So, it does work. We only turn it on when the sun's out because it uses too much energy in the evening. We would run our batteries down pretty quick. Problem is, I'm finding that although it works great in the wintertime, there's got to be like an auto defrost setting or something, because it is using a lot more power than it usually does because it's so cold that it's like 4 degrees out right now. So typically that whole unit uses around 2.5 kilowatts when we run the AC or the heat under normal conditions. Because it is so cold, it's running about 4.5 kilowatts to even 5 kilowatts I've seen, and that's just too much. That's cold. I gotta get inside. Hey, pup. Right now what we're doing is we've just gone back and relying pretty much solely on the boiler to heat the main floor, which does an excellent job. The main floor is always toasty. And then just run the pellet stove all day upstairs, which is fine. The pellet stove keeps it, in the 70s up there, but the problem is our back bedroom does not get much heat back there. So the back bedroom's typically in the 60s or so. So that's not bad when you're sleeping, but when you go back to go to the bathroom or take a shower, it's a little cold. So the mystical unit works great. It's just an extreme cold like this, it's just pulling too much power. Well, I got some bad news. So Sydney's goat didn't make it. The one that was having the issues with regulating his temperature. Baby goats are very, very, very temperamental, and one little thing goes wrong and they can just die on you. Natalie and I were watching it on the camera, and we're talking about after dinner about going down and checking on him, checking his temperature and things like that, because we moved it from the barn, or from the garage back down to the barn. The garage is heated. It stays, probably between, 40 to 50 degrees in there. And anyways, we took him down to the barn because it's back above freezing for the next 10 days. Most of the snow's gonna be melted off here in a little bit. But anyways, moved him back down to the barn, and he's doing okay. We're watching him on the camera. We thought maybe we should go down and check his temperature one last time before bed. Went down there, and literally in the time that it took us to get our shoes on and walk down there, he died. So, just crazy how fast they could die on you. So Sydney was, of course, pretty broken up about that. But we went ahead and took him down and laid him in the forest next to where his stillborn don't know if it was a girl or a boy, was at when Nola gave birth. We had that one stillborn. So I took him down, laid him in the woods for the coyotes. But yeah, it kind of sucks. She was pretty torn up about it. But back to business. So on this bridge up here, someone had put a bunch of hog panels, and they hung them off the side of the bridge so that their cattle could have a place to roam and they wouldn't get under the bridge. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to cut those panels out because they're on our property and we're not using them. And then I can use those to create a little corral outside the barn. So in these warmer temperatures, we can have a place for the goats to go out and get a little sunshine. Well, I got the other side cleaned up. This side, you can see these are pretty mangled. Here, till we get a flake, imagine all the logs and stuff bashing into them. But there's probably at least 2 good panels there I can take down, maybe part of this third one. I'm picking up a lot of trash along the ways too, just trying to clean up our property a little bit as we can. I may come back down later, cut the rest of these lines and haul this metal off to scrap at some point, because it's not serving any purpose now but being trash catchers. You hear me dragging the panels. So they're a bit longer than I thought. Those are probably 20-foot panels. I got 7 of them. Probably 3 or 4 of them are in, well, 2 of them are in really good shape. 2 of them got a little bit of bend to them. The other ones are quite a bit warped, but we can cut those off for doors and things like that. So a little bit of a sweat equity there and gained myself a bunch of panels, and that probably would have run me over $200 if I went and bought them new. And for what we're doing, just trying to hold goats in, it's not going to be that big of a deal. This is what happened when you train the cats to ride on your shoulder. You come to the barn and they all climb you. I got 2 of the babies on me right now, and the other one's right down at my legs trying to climb me at the same time. So I got all these pulled off the truck. Oh, ouch. There's Pepper, the original shoulder walker. So anyways, right out here, we got that door on the left next to the water tank. We're going to fold that back and then basically make a little corral out here for the goats to walk around in. Here's all the panels I got. This one's just a little bit bent. 2 of them are in really good shape, and then most of the beat up ones are over here. And they're really not that bad for what we're using them for. Like I say, I can always take, you know, a good section like this piece where it's bent right there, but the rest of it's okay. Cut that down, and then you can use it somewhere else for a door, or maybe need a small piece. So pretty good. All right, kittens. What are we doing? So, nutcase. Ow! Windy out. Can't get that windmill. We're over cleaning up the kitty with the snotty nose. Barry's down here getting to work on the little outside fencing area. So plan is to come out to 8 feet over and then back and have a gate over there. I'm guessing you got down okay. Didn't hit any rock. Right? Maybe. Ready to give them their shots.
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah, he's been tackling me.
Yeah, they're getting a little ornery, aren't they?
Oh.
Huh?
I think he's better than him. Hello.
I'm a little guy. Sorry you lost your brother. You still seem pretty happy. Yep. Alright, I don't think your mom told me how much I'm supposed to give them.
I didn't tell you either.
So anyways, that's what we're giving them. This is their vaccines for the 2 babies. And I think that's all the shots they'll get for a little bit. So altogether they've had 4 or 5 shots, I believe. Yep.